Hello. Okay. I think I figured it out. Awesome. Okay, cool. I can see myself. Okay, so let's see. Let's share and tell everybody about the update because this is crazy. Okay, cool. Well, here I am. Sorry for the technical difficulties. This is the first time I'm streaming this way before, but I'm super excited to be here today. I thought that it'd been a while since I've done a cooking video. I have been extremely taxed on time the last couple of months, as you've probably been aware with some of the videos that I've been coming out with. But I thought that I would get back to cooking videos because I really love doing it. It's a lot of fun. But I thought I would try something new, which is switching to a live format. And I'll talk all about why. Please comment below. I want to hear from you. And please engage with me. I want to see this as a conversation. But today I'm going to be cooking a Spanish rice that I make quite frequently. It's kind of I'm too busy to make a whole lot of things right now, and I can get a lot of food for not a lot of money, which I think works really great. So super excited. I'm going to start making that. I've got all my ingredients already set aside, and it doesn't take very long, only like, I don't know, like 30 minutes at most, maybe 45. But to get started, all I have to do is cut an onion. And yeah, as I go, just let me know what you think of this. Let me know how the stream quality is. Let me know how the audio quality is. My kitchen's like a total disaster right now, but totally cool with me. This is the real me. This is who I am right now, and not everything has to be so polished. And I also grabbed a beer because I love cooking with a beverage. And please, I'll make sure to post the recipe for this after the stream. It's super easy, and I really love making it because, like I said, it's cheap and doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's super easy and super fast. So anyways, cool. So the first thing I have to do is cut up an onion, and I'm not going to be using any extra cameras. I'm just going to be cutting here, talking to you. So please feel free to engage. Tell your friends. I want to hear from you. And I'm going to just tell you about what's been going on, why I haven't been doing a whole lot of cooking, and what I really need so that I can do cooking. Because it's something that I do want to do more of. It's something that I really enjoy spending my time doing. And I just have not had the time at all. To be honest with you, making every cooking video was extremely time intensive. I decided to opt to doing weekly videos, which is actually quite a bit when you're also doing other things. It's really a full-time job. And it made sense when I was in the middle of the summer and didn't have anything else going on. But to be honest with you, it got really challenging. Sorry for the loud knife noises. There's not actually a lot of chopping in this recipe, fortunately. But I've been really, really happy with all the support that everybody who watches and gives me that support. I really don't know if I would continue to be doing this if it wasn't for that support. So I really do thank you all for that. Not going to waste any of this onion. Although the cutting board's too small. This setup that I'm using is a little different than I'm used to. Normally, when I was interviewing people, I was using a different microphone, but I just, I don't know, like maybe like, I guess it's not that new at this point, but like back in January, I actually opted to purchase a bunch of new audio equipment, and it really changed the quality of some of at least the sound of my videos. And it really made me start thinking about these things. And so as soon as I got that, I was like, oh, okay, I need to start making cooking videos again. And then honestly, everything got so busy, so busy. So I'm gonna put a little olive oil in there. And then I'm going to put some of this onion in there. I'm gonna use a whole onion for this recipe. I actually don't wait till the olive oil is heated up just because of space, to be honest with you. I think some people want to wait till a lot of chefs actually will say to wait until the oil's heated. And if I had a bigger kitchen, I would totally do that. But this recipe is not fancy. It's not meant for people with all the fancy equipment. It's really just throw everything into a pot and go. And which is why I thought I'd make it today, because it's really the essence of why I've been busy. I've been stressed. And honestly, like, if I'm being even more honest, the amount of time that I spend on each and every video, it was starting to get overwhelming. And it was, not only was it overwhelming, the payoff. I didn't start, doing this because I wanted to like make it big on YouTube or anything like that. That's I think a little naive to think that I would just make it big on YouTube. But I did, you still want to see growth. You still want to see things happen. And quite frankly, the first 3 or 4 episodes did very well. And honestly, that first month did very well. But then I started noticing a pretty steep decline in how many people were watching. And there was an episode in particular that I felt extremely proud of. Probably one of the proudest episode, like the proudest I was of any of my episodes. And honestly, I think that's gonna be enough onion. I'm not gonna use the rest of this. But I was super proud of what I did with it. And honestly, like very few people watched it. I think it's like one of my lowest watched videos. It was like 16 people watched it. And I was super proud of it. I was super happy with how it turned out. And that really started making me think, like, who am I doing this for? Who am I making these videos for? So I'm going to start measuring out some things. I use about a cup and a half of this chicken stock. And then the rest water. And I might need more liquid than this. Actually, maybe 2. This recipe, I kind of don't have a perfect science of how much I put in everything. A lot of it is by eye, and I slightly alter it each time, because honestly, that is my cooking style. But anyways, so enough about why I've been busy. I mean, I think you understand. Things have been very busy. Things have not really been, I haven't had the bandwidth to put this together. And it's been extremely challenging to actually feel motivated to do these things, because, as I said, I mean, very few people were watching them. And so when I got all this new audio equipment, I started realizing that I was selling myself short from the very beginning of when I started this channel. When I first started the channel, I was like, okay, I need to do interviews, because everything that I was reading about YouTube was that if you do interviews or if you bring people on and you collaborate with people, it's much easier to grow a channel because, then you're relying on, both parties' no networks, right? And that can be really helpful. Well, kind of what I discovered was that just because you have someone else's network doesn't mean that they're going to support you in the way that you really need, which, quite frankly, is through them sharing, right? And if they're not sharing, then, quite frankly, the stream doesn't go anywhere. And you probably have heard of the YouTube algorithm, Facebook algorithm, and all of that is extremely hard to. It's actually extremely hard to get people to watch these things, and it's not because I'm not blaming people for not watching. It's the algorithm actually suppresses. So I know a lot of people that didn't even know that I put these things out there, and that is extremely frustrating, right? Like, it's extremely frustrating to spend all this time on this content and nobody even knows about it, right? And it's hard. And so I started thinking about, okay, well, what's the payoff? How long am I taking to spend to make one of these videos? And I realized it was about 20 minutes to make not 20 minutes, about 20 hours of time, from development, from meetings to recipe testing to putting things, actual filming, and then going to the grocery store and editing and marketing and all those things. It was about 20 hours of time. And I realized pretty quickly that I don't have that much time. Not in my current work situation, which is beyond composing, like, I am a full-time student, and I teach quite a bit. And the amount of time and effort required for 16 people to watch it just didn't seem practical. And just to give you a little bit of context, the last video that I released last week, which I actually had just gotten over being sick, so I had kind of decided I was going to take the week off, and then Lil Nas X came out with his song Montero, and which I adored. And I was like, oh, I know what I can do. I can just quickly respond and say, this video is awesome. Anybody who is, trashing it needs to calm down, because at the end of the day, like, who are you? And so I made that video. It took me 20 minutes to make, and 180 people or so have watched it so far in 1 week, compared to 18 people in 20 hours. You have to do a cost-benefit analysis, and my time is valuable. Like, I value my time. I'm not saying that I have, like, I don't. A lot of people put hourly rates on how long they value their time. I wouldn't say that I'm doing that per se, but I do really value my time. And so just letting those onions cook up a little bit. And so I started thinking, well, this is taking a long time. The people that I'm bringing on aren't really bringing their audiences in the way that I thought that they would. And the things that people were telling me is that their favorite parts of the videos were me and the things that I was saying. And this is where, and someone told me the other day that I should make a video on imposter syndrome. This is a prime example of imposter syndrome. I did not think that I do not think that I had a big enough draw, or at least I personally did not think that I had a big enough draw that people would want to sit here and listen to me talk, hearing what I had to say. And when I'm the thing that is in every video, I realized, wait, I'm the common feature in all of these videos. So, here I am in January, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just start doing more vlogs. I'm going to start making more content of me talking and providing that commentary. And I'm not going to say that, like, I don't enjoy interviewing people, because I do. I really do. But it's a lot of work. So you're probably wondering though, like, where am I going with this? Why am I telling you all this? How is this related to cooking with creatives, and what you're going to do with that? And so I've decided that I would like to turn cooking into creatives into a live event that happens from time to time, maybe once a month, twice a month, maybe when the summer comes, if it's popular, more than that. And I would like to maybe occasionally interview people, but for the most part, I would like this to be a chance for me to share the things that I love with food, but also have a chance to do some of the different challenges that I mentioned, like the chopped challenges. That chopped episode, by the way, is probably one of my favorites that I've ever done. And people suggesting, hey, I have this recipe that you probably never tried before. I want you to try it, and I'll totally do it. And we'll see what happens, but it's going to be live, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be community driven. And the amount of time that it takes me to do a live show, minimal, because you know what? It's going to be this. It's just going to be me talking to a camera. You'll see me cooking, but the cooking part is just the vehicle. It's one small aspect, but it's not the main aspect. It's not the main thing that I'm doing. So anyways, that's really it. That's really the gist of what's going to happen with the show is less scripted, less filmed, less manicured, and more just real time cooking and talking about music, talking about life, talking about commentary. If things happen, things come up in popular society or music or whatever, or in the new music community, or something happens like the really strange Twitter thing that happened about Alarm Will Sound the other day, or I guess that was like a week ago now. Maybe I'll spend a live stream having a conversation with somebody about things like that, and we can cook together, and we can do that. And I do still need to find some people to do that with, but if I don't have a guest, I can talk about whatever, whether it be a piece of music that I'm working on, whether it be maybe a new piece comes out, or like take for instance like the say like when the next Pulitzer Prize award comes out, which is probably going to come up here very soon. I can spend an hour cooking something, listening to the piece, and giving you what I think. And I can do lots of things. But I also think that the nice thing about this live thing is that then you, if you're watching, you can engage with me. You can talk in the chat. You can tell me what you think. Tell me, give me feedback on what I'm saying. Have a real dialogue. So that's what I'm thinking. So for now, I'd love to hear from you. I see a couple people are watching. What do you think of all this for those who are watching? If you can see me. Anybody? Well, for now, I'm going to keep cooking. So I'm going to just, so the onions are going. I'm going to start putting in some of the seasoning that I use. Normally I would use fresh garlic, but I forgot to buy garlic, so I'm going to just use the garlic powder. I use some chili powder, quite a bit actually, some cumin, some paprika, and I use quite a bit of spices in this. Actually, it's actually very, very, very spiced. Some red cayenne pepper, a ton of red pepper flakes, And notice I'm not measuring anything at all. And please, if you're watching this, let your friends know. It's super helpful. Super, super, super helpful. Bunch of salt. Pepper. Let that bloom just a little bit. Not let it burn. Okay. And now I'm going to open some cans of tomato. I'm using 2 cans of just diced tomato. You could use crushed tomatoes. You could use. I kind of tend to like a chunkier one. Sometimes I've tried half and half, crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes. You could also just use whole tomatoes, although that might take longer. You might have to let those cook down, but yeah, I mean, I kind of start this like I would cook a sauce, but instead of letting it turn into a sauce, I add a bunch of rice. So yeah, and I'm gonna mix this all together. Mix it all together. And the nice thing about this recipe is that as soon as I put the lid on, I'm done. Like, my portion is done. And that's what I love about it, is that if you're like me, you're probably super busy and you don't have time to make a fancy meal all the time, which is funny because, I love cooking. I love making fancy meals. I love doing that. But the last couple of months, I have not had time for that. I have not at all had time for that. So, okay, so now I'm putting a can of hot diced jalapenos. You could use fresh, but I've never found that it's necessary. And then I'm using a can of diced green chilies. And I've never tried this brand before, but it looked good. Diced green chilies, and the chilies are really important. I'm going to put some more red pepper flakes in there. And yeah, so I'm just developing that flavor. Going to add some lime juice. And then finally, I'm going to add some chicken stock and some water. I did about 2 cups of each. Just mix that all together. And then we're going to wait till that comes to a boil. And then I'm just going to add rice. And that's it. That's literally it. It's so easy. And the amount of meals that I get out of this is just, I get like 8 or 9 servings out of it. And what I end up doing is I meal prep it. I put it in, I put them into small, like, takeout type containers. And then, and each one has like, I don't know, like 300 calories or something like that. And then I make the chicken separate. I oftentimes will eat it with chicken, or sometimes I'll eat it with taco meat. But I'll eat it with chicken. And if I'm feeling real lazy, I'll buy like frozen chicken and just cook it that way, which I don't like to do that often, but sometimes I will. But I can also make fresh chicken and just eat it that, serve it with some hot sauce, a little sour cream, some cilantro, and it's just, I don't know, it's so enjoyable. It's comfort food. It's a little spicy, and the whole thing cost me like $8, like total, to make so much food. And not even like, and realistically, when I say $8, like that includes the protein. So maybe 9 or 10, depending on what protein I'm using. But yeah, it's so good. Sometimes I'll eat it with tortillas, some corn tortillas, and that's, now we're just gonna wait till this comes to a boil, and then throw the rice in, cover it. Takes 20 minutes, then you're done. So I see that there's 2 people watching. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions for me? Because I'd love to hear from you. As I put stuff away in my really, really messy kitchen. Well, okay. So what else can I talk about? So yeah, the last couple of months have been really stressful. So last week I had a presentation where I gave a talk on Samuel Barber, and reading some of his songs with a queer lens, which was a lot of fun. I will probably make a version for the channel at some point when I have more time, but it really has led to some really interesting research that I'm hoping to do on gay anthems and like music theory on using gay anthems, which I think is really fascinating. Hi, Emily. Yeah, I would definitely have people come on the channel and stream with me, either remotely or as things can open up. I'd love to collaborate with people here in Lansing. It's a lot of if I can work with somebody in person and have like a really great conversation, I would love to do that, because that just sounds like a lot of fun. Sometimes it'll be just me talking. Sometimes it will be just me talking if I don't have anybody for that week, and it depends on what's going on. Like if it's a challenge of me cooking something that somebody suggests from the community, that's awesome. I really want that to happen. But I would love to have more interviews and have people come on and chat with me live, because I think that one of the reasons that I wasn't enjoying I started not enjoying making the videos of cooking with creatives was because of the amount of editing time that every video took. Because not only was I filming it, but I also had to do all the different camera angles of showing you what I was doing, and I had to also then cut things in, cut things out, add all the different cuts, and that it was so time consuming, and it was the payoff which wasn't there. But the reason why I started cooking with creatives in the first place was because I love talking with people. I love engaging and talking about food. I love cooking. I love sharing recipes. I love getting to know somebody and getting to know someone's music and someone's creative processes and other things. And I think that a live outlet will be better suited for that in a way that doesn't require so much bandwidth, and then I can focus more on spending more time on the weekly episodes, and maybe have those happen either every other week or every week, where I really spend more time like doing like video essays or responding or whatever I end up doing. And I'm sure it'll keep adapting. I'm kind of following what people respond to. People seem to like the entrepreneurship things. People seem to like the when I give some sort of commentary. And so I'll spend more time, but I can actually spend more than like 3 or 4 days working on them, and I can spend like 2 weeks working on them. and you could get just higher quality. And that's really something that I'm focusing on, is just higher quality in that. And at the end of the day, the cooking part hasn't seemed to be what people come for. They seem to come for the conversation. And I think incorporating food into that is a really beautiful marriage, which is where the beginning of this whole channel even came from. So I hope that answered your question. I am really excited to see what happens, and I'm not saying that I don't have a plan, but I'm excited to just see what happens and be open to trying things. And that's been what most of this channel has been, is me trying things and failing and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. And sometimes things work and sometimes things don't. And, that's the creative process, particularly when you're putting yourself out there. I think I've put myself out there to the nth degree in this last year, in ways that I never thought I'd ever do. So, but thank you so much for that question. I think that it was a really helpful question, and I really am thankful for you being here and watching, and for all the support that those who do watch regularly have provided. So thank you, Emily, for that question. And I hope that when I do my gay anthem, my gay anthem thing, it'll be great. Because I've just found some really interesting things, and from a music theory perspective, it is really a really interesting way of looking at music theory. And I feel like there was something that happened in 433 that someone was asking about gay anthems, and I think that's where I got the idea from. And it might have even been you. I can't remember. I should share this stream with them. I didn't think about it. But yeah, anyways, so this is almost ready to pour the rice in. It's getting there. It's getting there. Honestly, I'm going to do that right now. Please. Cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, other things that I've been working on. So the Gay Anthems project, that's a lot of fun. So then other things that happened, the week before that, I had two pretty big exams. I think I made a post about 2 trucks by Lemon Drop being removed from the gay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, it's weird. The way that I'm actually approaching it is through the fact that a lot of gay anthems have rain in the title, or about rain in some way. And it was actually influenced by my barber project. The song that I'm working on is Rain Is Fallen, and I'm looking at it through a queer lens. And I actually am saying that there's a long history of rain representing the gay experience. And if you think of examples like anything from Don't Rain on My Parade, from that Barbara Streisand sings, versus It's Raining Men, to Rain on Me, the Lady Gaga Ariana Grande song. There's a lot of songs about rain. And sometimes maybe it's related to rainbows. Maybe it's related to, working your way through the storm. And I don't know. I haven't done the research yet, but I'm super excited to see how they're related. And then from there, we can see, well, just because they're all about rain, are there things that they have in common with other gay anthems beyond just the fact that gay people like the song? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But that's what my research question is going to be, is why are they all about rain? And do they have things beyond rain in the title as a common thread? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, this rice is ready to be put in. But anyway, so last week or 2 weeks ago, I had a pretty big exam that was a piano exam where I had to that I really had spent a lot of time preparing for. It was I was playing piano like 2 or 3 hours a day. If you know me, I'm not really a pianist, at least not a very good one. And so, but it was part of it, and but in the last year, I've been playing piano 2 or 3 hours a day, and my piano skills have really improved significantly to the point that I feel very comfortable sight reading a lot of things. I don't have technique, but I can use the piano as a teaching tool, which I think is great. And so, okay, so I'm going to cover this, and then I'm going to set a timer for like 20 minutes. It might not be done in 20 minutes, but that's okay. But we can check on it in about 20 minutes. But anyways, so I had that piano exam, and I passed, which is super exciting. And then earlier that week, I also had a teaching demo where I had to give a presentation on reinterpretation of fully diminished seventh chords, which is kind of like a meme of the thing that happens that why do we teach this type of stuff, and it's specifically related to classical music. And I felt really weird about having to teach this topic because it's not something that I really care that much about, but it's part of the curriculum. So and that's what I was asked to teach. So here we are. But I did, and I also passed, and I used Schubert to do that. And one of the comments that I got from one of my advisors who sat in on that was Lynn Geringer, who mentioned that she was like, "Why have you not explained the context of why you're teaching this?" And I'm thinking to myself, because I don't know why I'm teaching this, to be honest with you, but I passed. So here we are. And then before that, I had a pretty big deadline, which was actually due today, but I needed to get it for engraving purposes, of a piece that I wrote for string sextet, string quartet plus bass and piano. And that piece is I'm super excited about, is getting read in like 2 weeks or so. But it's the piece is called Scherzo Alert, and I think it's going to be really funny. Basically, it's a piece about telling bad jokes and wondering why, like when you tell a bad joke and then you try to keep telling the joke because you're like, okay, maybe it'll land better next time, and it never quite lands. And then you just realize, wait, I'm not funny, and I have to tell people that the joke is not funny, or that the joke is a joke even, and you have to announce the joke. And then you realize, I think if I have to announce the joke, it's not funny, and I should just let that die. And that way, yeah, I don't know. But it was fun. It's kind of funny. But all of that combined, plus teaching, and getting through school and making YouTube videos and just composing, it's a lot. And so I just being stressed and doing that doesn't make for good content, doesn't make for good workflow, doesn't make for good mental health. And so thought I'd shift things around. So that's why I haven't made videos, cooking videos, the last couple of months, because it's just too much time, not enough bandwidth. But I'm thankful that people have understood, and it seems like it's paid off though, because just my channel's grown quite a bit in the last 3 months. It's never as fast as I'd like it, but the more people that I can get to support, and I don't need money, but just through subscribing, liking, sharing, doing all those things, it really, really does make a difference to getting this out there. But yeah, thank you so much though, Emily, for watching this and answering these questions, or asking these questions, because that's really what I also hope for. And maybe eventually I can do a community one of these where what I tried to do over the summer and it didn't land, but maybe I can try again. And cook as like a community event, because it's something that I think could be a lot of fun. Anyways, the yeah. The hard part about this, though, is coming up with things to talk about for 40 minutes. The today today was I guess I could talk about the fact that I got vaccinated today, which was a lot of fun. I definitely had some side effects right after, but I'm feeling good at the moment. The Hopefully it doesn't hit me too much tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Huh. By the way, Emily, if you're still there, how does it sound and how does the camera look? Since I set this up for the first time, I've not used this method of streaming before, and I've not used this mic before. While I do that, I'm just gonna share in one more place. Oh, does it seem deeper than usual? I wonder if I have it on the wrong. I must have put it on the wrong frequency. I did this kind of haphazardly last minute, and I should have tested this. That's my bad. We will do that right the next time. Is it sound weird though? Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This mic wasn't very expensive, but I'm using an audio. I'm using my Zoom as an audio interface, and I've not done that before. The and the I hadn't used my fan and power before until now. So maybe that's part of it. The last couple videos that I've made, or most of the videos I've made for the last couple months since I got my new audio equipment, was using my condenser mic, which I think sounds really great. But this is a little lavalier mic because I thought it would be a little bit better for working in my kitchen, which is a little live, but also while like making noise from the cooking and stuff. Yeah. But thank you for that. That's helpful so I know for next time. Maybe I should do more testing next time. We'll see what happens. Anyways, but yeah, things that are coming up. I'm writing a piece right now for woodwind quintet with saxophone instead of horn, and it's a lot of fun. I realized that I don't know about everybody else, but I've been really sad lately. I mean, I think everybody has, but like I've been sad and I don't want to be sad anymore. And I realized that like musically, like a lot of the music that I feel like people are writing right now is sad. And I don't know. I understand it's a hard time. And I want to try to like power through that. And so I'm writing a piece that kind of uses humor and the kind of quotation, but like quotation in super cheesy way and super influenced by Alex Temple and some of the things that she does with her work because she's so great. But using some aleatoric things, using quotation, using classical music jokes, and do it all through a piece, because I don't know, it seemed like a fun idea. And I'm excited to see how that works out. And that's for a festival that I'm going to over the summer. And then after that, I'll be working on my dissertation, because I need to start doing that, because we'll see what happens. I've applied for a few jobs. I don't know if they'll work out, but if the jobs work out, then I might have to power through my dissertation quickly. But if they don't, then I will be. I'm working on a concept album, and that'll be what I'm going to be working on over the course of the next year. And I've been working on it for the last year, actually. And it's been a lot of fun. The people who are involved, I'm super excited to be working with them. It's very collaborative, very multi-genre, and I get to kind of flex my skills, because it's a lot of different styles of music, all in one piece. And it's not something that I've ever done before, but it'll be a full album length work that involves lots of individual performers and lots of really, really cool sounds. And I'm super excited about that. Other future things that I'm hoping to do on the channel, I'm hoping to do some more like commentary type things. I'm hoping to, now that things are calming down a little bit, I'm hoping to actually respond to things, perhaps even like on Monday, things that happen in the news either that week or as soon as possible, and respond to them, because I do think that it seems to be that when I talk about things that are topical, people like hearing what I have to say. And I didn't realize it's, I'll probably make a video on it, like I said, on imposter syndrome. I think that it's something that a lot of people really suffer with. And I think people assume that I don't, because I do put myself out there, and I am, but I think that nobody doesn't not suffer from it in some way. For me, I think that I'm always concerned with that people aren't taking me serious. I put myself out there anyways, but I overthink everything. I care way too much what people think. And when people don't tell me what they think, that almost like hurts more, because it's almost like, well, I don't care enough to tell you what I think. And that can be hard. And so I'll probably make a video on how I work past that, despite those feelings. I know that a lot of people feel similarly about these things. Okay, I'm gonna stir this. Need to stir it, because otherwise it won't. This is gonna be so good. So good. I wish I could show you. And it's getting dark in here now. I should probably turn the light on. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this back on. Turn the light on. I hate the color of the light in here, but that's okay. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Look at that. And the nice thing about my lav mic is that just because I move the camera, my voice stays the same. Look at how good that looks. It's not quite done yet, though. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for this. So excited for this. And I haven't made it in a while because I've just been so busy. Anyways. But yeah, no, I'm so excited though that I'm going to be able to spend more time on this, because I really have enjoyed this last. It's now been almost 10 months since I started making these videos. And I've only really, I think I've missed like 3 weeks over the course of the year, which I think maybe 4. And I think that I think that's really good for for taking on a new project and trying something new and honestly having to be creative every single week and come up with something new. And coming up with content is hard. Because if I was making more scripted and less frequent, like maybe once a month or once or twice a month, I probably, I could spend more time on these things. But coming up with every single week content and trying to keep people engaged and interested in what you have to say it's a lot of work. And I will say, if anybody is thinking about trying this, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to chat with you. What I've found is that taking a YouTube journey is a lot of work, and it really doesn't happen by yourself. Like you need to find your people, you need to find your community, you need to find the people who care about what you have to say and want to support you. And then you have to find those people who are willing to not only just support you by watching, but support you by telling their friends and telling people to tune in. And this is the first time I've done a couple streams where like I did back in June of last year, I did a Pride brunch, and that was a lot of fun. And it worked pretty well. I think people watched it. It was at the beginning of everything, so I think people were more engaged on the cooking side. But then I've done a couple like composing sessions where I was composing and on Twitch, and tried that, and I don't know. I don't know if I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't my like favorite thing to do. I probably would do it again, but trying to you're trying to get people to go to that channel when I'm also trying to get people to go to this channel is a lot of extra bandwidth that I just wasn't willing to spend the time for. But I was like, how can I combine all these things that I really love doing and do it in a way that isn't going to take a lot of bandwidth? And maybe that's something that I'll make a video on is how to deal with bandwidth and how to make it so that you're not burning out, because it's definitely something that I have been experiencing and trying to figure out ways to work through and work past. Yeah. Only a couple more minutes on this rice. I want to make sure I can plate it though. Let me grab a bowl, which is over here. But yeah, I should try to get people on 433 I should do a 433 cooking event, or start a 433 cook posting group, because I think that could be a lot of fun. I'm sure there are people out there who cook and like talking about food. And I'm sure there's people out there who just like eating, because I know I certainly do. Yeah. Certainly, though, I will be honest that one thing I will say is that I would love to do more interviews, because I really do like having conversation with people. And I think the thing about what I'm doing right now, like I'm going to just get super meta here. Like the thing that I'm doing right now is a lot harder to just like, how do you just talk for 50 minutes straight? Just talk, and I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm not scripted. I didn't really plan out what I was going to say, other than that I was going to say what the news channel was going to be like, or what the cooking, how Cooking and Creatives was going to be like. And then I knew that I would be talking through my recipe. But other than that, like, it's not. I didn't have much else planned. And so, yeah, this rice is so good. It's gonna be so good. Look at this. it's so flavorful. And you have to scrape the bottom because the crunchy bits are all there. And you can do this in a crock pot. You could do this in a rice cooker. You could do this in an Instapot. I just do it in my Dutch oven because that's what I have. But lots of different ways that you could do this. I'm gonna try it, see if it's done. Sometimes, if it's not quite done, you can add a little bit more chicken stock or water. I'm gonna just add chicken stock because it's here, and just to add a little bit more moisture. Mix that in. And then recover it. Because yeah, I think that it needs just a little bit more time. But yeah, no, I'm excited to I'm excited for all this. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure if you know them, but Ash, maybe someone you can ask. Oh yeah, I should totally do that. They posted a fair bit from their cooking, like share videos of really bad cooking fails. That would be fun though. Maybe we could do like a shit posting, like cook the most ridiculous thing and fail, like nailed it style. That could be fun. That could totally be fun. I'm definitely going to do that. And I think that it could be like, and it doesn't have to be on YouTube. It's just like, I don't know. I like meeting people. I like talking to people. Whether it be like a Zoom hang or whatever. I definitely like cooking with people. And that's the like long term, whenever once we can get back to like normal life, I can travel places and talk with people. And cook with them, because most people, have the one dish that they cook. Not everybody does, but a lot of people do. And if you're, a lot of people maybe haven't had to get to that point in their life yet. Latest one was a turkey with a block of cheddar inside, and it was covered in crushed. That sounds awful. I don't want to eat that. Sounded really bad. Like terrible. They didn't cook it. They just shared. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll find ways to see if I can get the 433 crowd involved. I've kind of relied more on the gay posting group because on the gay content, at least, because I feel like it's something that they'd be interested in. But I try not to spam 433 too much, just because I feel like it's not what it's there for. And unless the content is actually like shit posty, like Adam Odell's. I don't know if you saw Adam Odell's recent video on programming, or it wasn't a program note, but it was like talking, like presenting concert presenters before concerts, and it was just like perfect. It was the perfect thing to share, and it's really done quite well. And he's really funny. And that's something that he does really well. I actually had a video that was going to come out with Adam, and I messed up the sound, and I'm really mad about it. Really mad about it, because I thought it was a good episode. I felt bad. I've been meaning to get him on here again, and I just haven't. I don't think either of us have had time. Okay, let's check this. So you don't want to overcook it, because then you get mushy rice. You don't want that. It's a little hot. Oh, that's perfect. That's so good. Now, you don't have to make it. Ooh, that's spicy. You don't have to make it as spicy as I just made it because that was really spicy. But ooh, good thing I'll eat that with some chicken because and some sour cream because that was spicy. Oh no. Let's see. The hardest part about this mic is that if it doesn't go very far. Okay, this will reach. And I just dropped a plant. I'll have to clean it up in just a few moments, but okay, I'm gonna plate this up. And I'm meal prepping, so that's the only reason I'm weighing it, just so you can get an idea of how much I'm putting in there. Grab some. Okay, sorry for this loud sound that you're about to get. Serve it with a little sour cream, and I just get this. It's a little spicy. Cilantro, which a lot of people don't like, but I adore. Although you probably me so a little cilantro, and then from there we can. I'm just gonna take a quick picture. You can't take your picture's not picture unless your food's not done unless there's a picture of it proving that you cooked it. And that's what I got for you. Okay, so if you liked this, let me know. I'm please if you did watch through this whole thing, I know there was a couple of you. Please reach out to me. Let me know what you thought. Let me know ideas that you have, things that you'd like to see. If there's people that you want me to talk to, let me know. If there's topics that you want me to talk about, let me know. These are all everything that you as a community is what makes this possible. So anyways, I'm going to go enjoy this because this is going to be amazing. So thank you all for watching. Have a really great evening, and thank you for watching.